Yeah, my first time ever coming to Trinity was when I was a wee kid. I grew up in Alberta, and like most Albertan families do, we'd come vacation in the Okanagan and visit family. And we would come here on Sundays with our family. I remember as a kid going into like the kids ministry and just having the most fun, and then eventually growing out of that and being in the auditorium and being like, whoa, I didn't think church could look like this. It's so different than my small town. But it ended up being something I always looked forward to, I guess, as a kid, vacationing. I was like, there's just something that is pulling me here. Like, the worship is amazing. The teaching was great. And just my family's involvement and just buying in the church was just so different than what I experienced at home. I knew my grandparents had been around forever. I didn't know what forever meant, I think, until I talked about it later with my family. Like, my grandparents always had their spot in the pew with their friends, and my aunts and our family, when we visited, had our spot in our pew with our friends. And I just knew that there was this deep connectedness, but I didn't realize how deep the roots went until later on. If you want to go way back, I would say my dad inspired me the most to get into ministry, and he was inspired by attending Trinity as a kid. And so that goes on for a while. I was just really fell in love with worship, and I would say Trinity, even visiting during the summers, had a big part to play in that, of just being like, oh, worship music, this is a whole new genre for me. And so I would go home and I would study worship music. I would play worship music and would help lead worship at my home church a little bit, although it looked very different. Eventually, that led me to go to Columbia Bible College. I ended up getting a degree in worship theology, which I loved. But part of that degree was needing to get some practical hands-on experience at a church. And so I think it was the end of my second year, I was like, I wonder what I want to do for the summer. And I just cold emailed the arts department and was like, hey, do you guys take interns? Like, this place is pretty cool. Like, do you have a place for me? And they were like, we've never done that before, but sure, let's do it. And one summer turned into two of just learning the ropes of worship ministry and tech and design and what it means to plan a service. And this really became one of the first places where I could really be entrusted with some of that leadership and take what I learned at school and apply it. And those internship days were amazing. Like, I feel like I was just surrounded by so many on this team who just believed in me and cheered me on and spoke out the things that they believed that they saw that God had gifted me with. And that was some of the first times that I was like, okay, like, maybe I can actually do this. Like, yes, I've been studying this, but I think this is for real for me. And the rest is history. I mean, when I think about just the pieces that fell into place with my family and how I got here, like, it's the moment I started on staff, I was like, this is such a full circle moment for my family. I don't think anyone could have imagined that when my grandparents met in the basement of the original church building, that would then inspire my dad, who grew up in the church, to become a pastor, which would then inspire me to follow suit and then somehow end up back here where it started. And so I guess when I look at that, I'm just like God had a plan from the beginning, and he has just so graciously given me this torch to continue on as long as I'm here. And that's such a blessing. It's such a holy, beautiful, weighty responsibility that I love to carry. And it's been cool to see how I have been able to be a part of my family's spiritual journey in Kelowna. I think one of my biggest hopes is that we keep multiplying. I feel like I'm an example of that, of like people in this church invested, spoke life into me, and were able to send me off to lead and to just continue doing the ministry wherever I went. And so I think that's my hope for our future, is that we will continue to disciple, lead up, inspire, empower next generations to serve here and beyond, not even for the sake of us, that will just continue just the growth of the Big C Church and just play a part in that. And then a hope for our church is that just as we're seeing worship ministry grow and as we're seeing hearts for stepping out in boldness in prayer, it's been really cool to see how God has been meeting us as we have stepped out courageously in our worship. And so my heart is that this will continue to be a place that continues to grow in our expression, in our trust of God, and that the ways that we come together and gather on Sundays in our worship it's just an overflow of what God is already doing in our lives. And I just pray that overflow continues to look more and more and more like the kingdom and sound more and more like the kingdom every single time we gather. To the founding members who are celebrating with us right now, I would say thank you for your hard work and your dedication of planting a church. That's never easy. And you guys paved the way in Kelowna for what church could look like. And it's because of the dedication of founding members, of my grandparents, whose role played a huge part in my life, that so many of us can stand here today empowered to continue your work and to follow suit. So thank you.